previously on A Galaxy United. The party navigated their way to the lower reaches of Nar Shaddaa to locate where the Cult of Isaidus was residing. Once there, they infiltrated the building and took the cult members by surprise, trying to stop them from sharing the information about star forges that they had gained, locked away in Revan's datapad. However, the cult seemed to be stronger than the party anticipated. After nearly losing a few members of the party and setting fire to the building, the surviving assassins escaped and the party were left to lick their wounds. The infiltration did not go as anticipated, and now they have to find a way to work together, cover each other's weaknesses, and stop the cult. Fortunately, the Council of Unity has been hard at work to prepare some reinforcements to join the crew. While some crew members had to depart after the recuperation of their wounds, and they faced their first loss, at least they have solace in knowing that the Cult of Isaidus does not know what is on that datapad they have. Will these new members be strong additions to this wounded crew? What other trials await them in the dark reaches of the galaxy? Only time will tell. And we are back. So, last time on A Galaxy United, the crew went to investigate the location of the Cult of Isaidus. They had recently acquired a datapad that Revan had that the party discovered held the locations of star forges and other applicable information. The party was able to access copies of it and get the information. The cult was not. However, the cult could potentially unlock it, which could lead to further issues down the line. So the party went to intercept them and stopped them. Fight ensued, and while for the most part they did destroy the base and stop quite a few of the cult members, some of the assassins slipped away with the datapad. Legion came for reinforcements to ensure that the party got out safely, and they returned to the council space station to mend their wounds and make sure they were okay. As they were recovering and Arashi proceeded to process the information from Revan's datapad, Navarre got a call from his master urgently seeking his assistance, so he unfortunately had to depart. However, during this time and as everybody was recuperating, Arashi had discovered the star map locations that Revan left behind that were on Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manan, and Korriban. These star maps were, per her datapad, incomplete, but she had attached information that was coming back from her memories to help piece things together to find the additional star forges. Currently, Arashi is out in the galaxy using their connections to find the exact locations of these maps, as well as trying to decode what else is in the datapad that might be further information for the party. For now, Enoch, Epsilon, and Juvia are returning down to where the remnants of that warehouse was. Remnants is about all that's there. The fire has been since put out, but it is definitely rubble. There are broken down buildings. It's just a mess. But Arashi had suggested that the party go there to try to locate where the cult might be going next, to try to head them off so that they can't get the information from the datapad.
Did you just want to sit up?
As such, It looks like it might be kind of a daunting task, purely because it is pretty messed up building. Um, sorry, mind blanked reading a message. Uh, as you guys get there and you are kind of noticing the rubble, excuse me. Uh, Enoch, you notice that a shuttle is coming towards you guys. You recognize it because these shuttles are all over the Unity space station. You know it is part of one of the shuttles there. Likely being somebody from the crew coming down to meet you guys. As such, it lands not too far away from you, uh, and the doors open. And of course, as the doors open, the first one that you see is the massive visage that is, of course, Legion. Legion kind of looks around and notices the party, and he kind of gives his stereotypical silent nod in greeting before he kind of gestures for the party to come closer, signaling that he has something for you.
Enoch gives a little nod of his own in return, and then makes his way over.
Once you guys have gotten closer and Legion seems comfortable, he kind of turns his head slightly towards the shuttle and nods to it before turning back to you guys and says, "We have found new members to add to the party to help find the cult of the Isaidus. The council feels that these new friends will be very helpful in the search." And two figures come off of the shuttle, and Zai, why don't you describe your character to start with?
All right. You see coming off the shuttle, probably the biggest Nautilin you've ever laid eyes on. He stands at about 7'6", and he's fully armored. But he has an odd sort of pink-colored robe covering one half, his left half, that's kind of just belted loosely on. Very big. And he kind of walks over to you with a sort of heavy gait, and he looks very serious for just a moment. And then his face cracks into this big grin. He just goes, "Hi, I'm Zeeg."
Okay, that's not the voice I was expecting. Sorry, that disarmed the hell out of me. Okay, and besides Zeke, Xeno, describe your character.
Yeah, so Xenno is a very short 6'1", next to Zeeg, and he's sort of tall and slender with broad shoulders. The ridges on his brow are very underpronounced compared to most of his species. He's got black hair that's kind of streaked back with white streaks going down the sides, and hanging on his belt are two Shoto sabers. He's dressed in all black and white, and he kind of moves very gracefully, softly. And as he comes out, he looks at each of you individually before saying, "Hello, I'm Xenno."
Enoch kind of like he's looking over both of them, well, craning his neck, especially with Zeke. He's only 5'10". He's short next to them. And he's standing there with his hands clasped behind his back at like a soldier's attention, basically. And then he just kind of dips his head. Pleasure to meet you two.
And
Very much a pleasure for me as well.
Lucy, would
Zeke
you?
just has a big grin on his face.
Of course, of course. Lucy, would you describe Enoch so that they know your boy?
I mean, I've always got a picture, but
Yes, but we have audio listeners, damn it.
I know. So Enoch he stands about 5 foot tall, and he looks like a sort of lean human male. He's got very pale skin, and his hair is it's currently tied up in a bun, but there's some stray strands that show that it's pretty wavy when it like gets further down. And it's a very, very deep red, like a kind of mahogany red color. He's currently wearing essentially like a sleeveless fitted turtleneck shirt that's black, and I'm not really sure how to describe his pants. They're kind of like those sort of Arabian style uh yoga like pants where it looks like they're a skirt but they're actually not, kind of thing. It's hard to describe. Anyway, so he's got that, and it's black, and it's all black attire, and he's got arm warmers fingerless arm gloves that go up almost up to his deltoids, and then snappy little black boots. So really the only skin you're seeing on him is his shoulders and his head. And his eyes are what's really unusual and show that he's probably not actually human, because each eye has 2 irises with 2 horizontal pupils. So it's like you got 2 eyes in one, kind of thing. And so he has a very wide field of vision, and he doesn't really have to turn his head to look at things that are next to him, because he's got an eye kind of pointing that direction at all times. And it's just a very sharp yellow. And on his back is like a little sleek shield looking thing, and it's just kind of sort of hovering just above his skin. And no explanation for what it is, but it doesn't look like he's actually carrying any weapons on him as he's standing there, hands behind his back, looking at you. I'm terrible at descriptions, my bad.
Actually, no, you're doing great.
Okay, but in general, I will post this picture for the 2 that can look at.
Yes. Which Zeeg and Xenno and Enoch, you guys would definitely feel the fact that you guys are all Force users. You get that force feely, tingly sense of, another one. To varying degrees of, oh, you are of the light side variety, or oh, you're Sith.
Enoch is of the "oh, you're Sith" variety.
He's on that end of the spectrum.
But even then, it's still kind of like gentle, like he's kind of putting a damper on it for everybody. Very controlled.
Unlike some people who use the Force, he does not, in fact, scream through the Force.
Like the one next to us.
Yeah. Yeah. Epsilon does, in fact, scream through the Force. I apologize. I had a sneezing fit there for no damn reason. Okay. I am allergic to Force bullshit, apparently. But so that's Enoch. Felicia, would you describe Juvia to our 2 newbies?
She's a giant spider.
Yes. Just giant spider mommy. It's fine. And then Epsilon, Scar.
Hold on, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
I have push to talk, and so it's like.
Okay. My bad.
Okay. So Juvia is. Did we distinguish if she's 6'2"? I can't remember.
I believe we said she was 6'2".
Yeah. So she's 6'2". She's a Harch, which means She is of the spider variety. She has 6 arms that she usually uses that she can use, and she's ambidextrous and everything. She's got 2 bigger legs at the bottom, so a total of 8, but she mostly uses like her 6 arms as like being able to reach for things, and 2 of them are for walking. Unfortunately, due to a lightsaber catastrophe when she was a little younger and when she was in with bounty hunters, she doesn't have like fur or like hairs covering her body. Her skin, if you get to see it, the only portion you get to really see is her face, is pink, along with like mostly all of her skin except for the top of her head, because she was burned repeatedly with lightsabers. She has white, usually, hair on top of her head due to a chemical accident from her Dawes farm. Woo! Rookfest is coming up, by the way. Just throwing that out there. You know, got to promote Dawes business. But she likes to dye the top of her head and everything. That's really it. Like she's basically a giant spider with a southern accent. But to the newbies, to be warned, she has 3 different characters. She has a droid, so a BD droid. His name is Big Boy. BG for short, I think. She has the lolcats. What did I name him? Poppy. Poppy is that one, and then she has a Porg who's really, really, really old, and his name is Gamedes. But the droid is what you'll have to look out for, because her droid is like ridiculous. That's it.
Okay. So, yes, giant, tall spider girl with southern
Who's
accent.
ridiculously good at seducing. I forgot to mention that.
Yeah. She has this surprising hidden talent of scarousal, apparently. Um, this was not intended. Things happen in combat. I don't know how else to explain it. So yeah, that is Juvia, and then last but not least, the loudest one, although probably not too loud right now, Epsilon.
So the last one of the group essentially just sort of stares at the newcomers. They can distinctly see her eyes light up with an electronic kind of glow scanning them. It is by no subtlety that this person is highly augmented. I have quite a few machine parts mixed with their organics. She's pretty tall, in her full neon accented armor and 3 pairs of lightsabers, essentially. She has a double blade on her side and a large, like almost cross-shaped staff that she either keeps on her back or uses as like a walking stick. That's made of various tattered, damaged materials that is in such a state that it will actually like cut and injure her if she uses it. That does not appear to bother her in the slightest. And if it is taken from her, misplaced, or if anyone even so much as looks at it funny, she will probably beat them with it.
I feel like that's less of a probably and more of a guarantee, but yes.
Yeah, it's pretty up there. Almost never shows her face. She has like a various types of digital or metallic masks that will cover most of her face except for her eyes, which are heterochromic. Her hair is snow white and very long. Let's see, I'm going over my notes. She has a couple of stuff that hangs around her on the ship as well. She has one of those crystal foxes, a mini modified droidica named Rolly, with the hardware of a temperamental R2. And then, of course, her pair of assistants, I guess is a good word for them, with Jinx and Vi. One of them is her mechanic, Jinx, and the other one is her medic, Vi. Since she is both machine and organic, she needs a medic and a mechanic. And when it comes...
She stresses them out quite frequently.
Yeah. And when it comes to the force side of things, since you guys are unfortunate enough to be force sensitive, essentially, as soon as you look at her or get close enough, it's just a screaming, voidous, tormented hole that is her existence in the force. It's not that like you can feel, yeah, the rest of everybody else got that like, oh cool, you're a force user, you're this alignment, you're that alignment. When you try to feel her, it feels like it's trying to yank you back. Like, don't look at me, I will tear out your force-based eyeballs. And alignment wise, you can't tell. She's definitely got dark, she's definitely got light, she's got some other stuff. She's all over the place.
She really, really is. She is
a hot force mess.
She is a hot force mess. Everyone else has been, you're that, and then you get to Epsilon and go, oh. But that is the crew that you two have joined, and Legion is just kind of looking between you all, like expecting you guys to just kind of start collaborating together. He's just here.
He's just happy to be here.
He really is. He's not sure why Drea told him to do this. He's not even sure what the effective purpose is. But he's here with his two new friends, so he's happy.
I will say... Go ahead.
Oh, no, by all means.
I will say when Zeeg kind of perceives Epsilon in the Force like you were describing, Zeeg does not have much of a poker face. So the minute he kind of sees and senses that sort of, I don't want to call it tortured because I don't know if that's what you're going for, but that sort of like very odd Force presence, he just looks like someone stepped on a puppy for a second. Like he looks very sad, but he like realizes he probably shouldn't look that way directly at someone. So he kind of wipes it off his face really quick.
She squints at him.
Epsilon, honey, you turn down your noise. Turn yourself off for a little bit.
I did not follow.
Push the button and turn yourself off for like 5 minutes.
I am not machine to the degree that I can just turn off. It is not how this works.
Give me 2 minutes and I bet I could find a button.
I do not have buttons. We have been over this.
I don't remember. You don't have buttons? I thought you did.
I do not have buttons. I am not a microwave.
Do I clap on then?
I am. Enoch, did you order these two?
No.
Legion, we did not order these. Are you sure you're in the right place?
Zeno kind of clears his throat and steps forward. Well, if I understand correctly, the Council of Unity has required our services to enhance your effectiveness in the field.
I assure you, you will not enhance anything of mine. I do not need it.
Perhaps, but perhaps I can offer avenues forward that you aren't currently capable of.
It's like hard pauses, like she's genuinely trying to think of something she can't do.
The whole
I
time
got
this
nothing.
the whole time this is happening, Zeeg is just very intently trying to see if he can see any buttons on Epsilon.
Legion is also low-key doing the same thing because, as far as Legion was aware, Epsilon did not have buttons, but if Juvia says that Epsilon has buttons, then the Epsilon must have buttons. Like, like, Helmed Head is tilted as he's just kind of looking at Epsilon curiously, like, this is new. Is, what? Just confused puppy noises.
Why are we staring at? Stop staring at me. You wish to keep your eyes.
Perhaps we should do what we came here to do.
I'm sorry. He just looks kind of abashed and like looks away.
Enoch just kind of gives like a little gesture towards the pile of debris before turning and heading off towards it to begin picking through.
Oh yeah, we need to do like perception and investigation check.
Yes. So, for the first rolls of the year, it shall have to be of the perception checks, please, if you guys would be so kind.
Ooh.
See how Roll20 decides to roll for us today. Ooh.
Oh,
This is my
I mean,
first roll
What
of
the
a D&D
shit?
game.
you whispered that to me, but still pretty good. Good job, Enoch. You
Yeah,
got 20.
I don't know how it was set to that. My bad.
You said perception?
Perception.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Oh, you.
I'm starting this off. That is my first roll of a D&D campaign.
That wall, Zeeg, is made of wall. You are 100% certain that is a wall.
He's not even looking in the right debris pile.
He's
What
pulling an
is Zeke
IO.
like? What is Zeke's intelligence? I just want to know.
Zeke has an intelligence of 8.
Oh,
He's not very smart.
He tries. He tries.
He's got distracted by a plant.
That's a nice
So
plan.
I got a 20. I got a 25 for perception.
Nice.
Okay, so we've got a 9, a nat 1, a 20.
can I try my new dice?
Oh, of course I roll a nat 20 for Epsilon. You're welcome. Yes, you can use your new dice. I'm fine with that.
Let's see what we get.
Epsilon immediately determines that the new guy is a fucking idiot.
I got a 15. Thank you, dice. You're so nice to me. Why couldn't you fucking do that last time? And I rolled you.
Yes.
I got a 15. So a
That's
little
much better.
better.
It's better than a 9. So everybody but Zeeg, Zeeg, you are distracted, in fact, by a plant. It is a very pretty plant. You're pretty sure that you see pink in the leaves too. So, the rest of you kind of start looking through the rubble pile. Juvia, you are able to kind of see that there seems to be the remnants of a path. Like there was a tunnel underneath all of this. Enoch and Xenno, and especially Epsilon, since I rolled a freaking nat 20 for you. you guys are able to kind of follow along this, the remnants of what seems to be a tunnel that Juvia has initially spotted. And you guys are able to determine that. Sorry, Padfoot just hit his head on the table. Anyway, you are able to determine that this underground tunnel leads into the sewers, which is quite likely a good place for them to run away and hide from you guys.
Enoch like kind of makes a little bit of a face, and then he goes down.
Yeah, I mean, they're sewers. I don't want to have to describe it to you, but there's the natural sewage scent, but also burnt sewage, because you guys did kind of burn down this building, so things burnt. Not
I guess
terrible.
Enoch has a respirator
Yeah. Yeah, no.
as he puts
Same.
that on.
Epsilon and Enoch are just fine. They're frolicking through the bushes. The rest of you, however, get to enjoy this smell of sewage and burnt sewage, and it is not pleasant.
To ask a question, did anybody tell Zeeg there was a tunnel? Because he's still very much engrossed with this point.
That's a valid question.
Secret tunnel.
Every game has to be.
Epsilon won't say a word. She'll go straight up leave him there. At least there he can't probably hurt himself or anyone else.
Like the probably.
Zeeg, was it? There seems to be a tunnel.
Hmm?
Likely path of escape over here.
Oh, okay. This is a pretty plan, but we can go down a tunnel. And he kind of lumbers over towards it.
Yeah, Xenno leaps into the opening there, and as the smell hits me, he goes, "Oh my, it's sort of like the lower levels of Coruscant down here."
It smells like shit.
Yes, that's what I was getting at with less direct wordage.
I love having a himbo in the party. As you guys are navigating through the sewers, you start to find that they are rather complicated, which is to be expected on a city planet like Nar Shaddaa or like Coruscant. They are winding, weaving, and it can be very easy to get lost in. As such, we are going to have to do either a survival to see if you can actually like figure out and navigate, or investigation to see if you can find the path that the cult went.
Hope this will do anything, but Enoch does have the Wanderer background that says he has an excellent memory for maps and geography, and he can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around him. So if anything, we won't get lost when we have to go back a certain way, because he'll remember where we went.
That's true. You will not be stuck in the sewers forever. Courtesy of Enoch.
Shit, I forgot he has advantage on perception and investigation.
No, well,
You said survival or what? I'm sorry.
survival or investigation. Survival if you're just in general trying to navigate the sewers. Investigation if you're specifically trying to navigate to follow the cult. Whichever one you feel is best.
Okay. Zeeg is gonna go with survival. That is correct. That's a 15.
Hey, you know?
Much better than a 1.
That's way better than a 1.
Yeah, I got the 1 this time.
Oh no.
We're trading.
Oh
Zeeg
boy.
is infectious.
That's how that friendship is gonna go. Okay. I mean, so far everyone's rolling really well. Yeah, the nat one was definitely the lowest. I see Epsilon and roll 20. Did you want me to roll, or did you want to roll for it, Scar?
I'm seeing if I can get it to work, but you can do it in the meantime.
Okay. Did you want to do survival or investigation? Your survival's higher, but I leave it up to you which one you want me to roll.
Both investigation. I'm gonna find these guys.
Okay. Okay, I rolled a 14 for you. So far you guys are doing really good. Xenno, you start to kind of get a little bit turned around. There's no real clear way to navigate. Like, you're pretty sure that you've done like the same left turn 3 times now. Which is confirmed when you see Zeeg in the same spot after the 3rd time. Fortunately, the rest of the party members are able to kind of help navigate as a group. Yeah, the rest of you, because you guys rolled higher than the DC, collectively, Juvia, Enoch, Epsilon, and Zeeg, you start to find traces of footsteps. More specifically, humanoid footsteps, and it's pretty much common knowledge, even if you do roll a nat 1. Humanoids don't really come down to the sewers. Animals and other creatures, yeah, but only humanoids come down here to navigate in certain ways. With the help of your other party members, though, Zeeg, they kind of point out the specific footprints to you. And you guys do start to find the right path. You guys continue to navigate through the sewers, and eventually you find that the footsteps stop, and it seems to be at a wall. Just a solid metal wall. The wall is approximately 20 feet high, and you would wager it is made of Durasteel, so it is very thick and very sturdy. But you do not see anything else. You do not see any indication of a door. It's like they just vanished.
Zeeg just... Go ahead.
Enoch's gonna start kind of looking around, seeing if there's like a hidden switch or something around the walls.
Xenno would help Enoch with that.
Okay.
Epsilon, come here for a second. I need to borrow you to open a door.
I am not a battling lamb.
You were not too long ago.
I work on people, not walls.
I don't know, you did pretty well with the wall and the door
wall.
and the other people.
I assure you, if I think I could break through this wall, I would have started already.
Well, you're no fun.
Zeeg just walks up to the wall and bangs on it really hard with a fist and goes, "Hello?"
I was actually going to tell him to do that.
The sound of just that something hard hitting metal echoes around you. You do not hear a response, Zeeg. Sorry, bud.
Can I seduce the door? And
No.
see how well my scarazle works.
No, the door is an inanimate object and cannot be scaroused. That only works on organics.
The DM.
Xenno and Enoch, since you guys are looking for things, go ahead and roll me another investigation check.
Can I just give Enoch advantage on it?
I mean, he already has advantage, so.
Oh. All right, I'll roll also then. 16.
Okay. Enoch, you are not able to see any switches or anything hidden. Xeno, however, you do notice that where the footstops end, there also seems to be a cutoff of sewage. Like there's an area on the walkway that you're on where the sewage is cleared. So there was something there that is no longer there.
Is it in like a particular shape?
From what you were able to see, just based on the outline, it looks rectangular, but also like it kind of juts off the edge. So it was probably longer than the walkway is wide.
Zeke kind of looks around at the rest of the group and kind of gestures towards the wall. We want to get through here?
Yeah,
Yes.
just trying to figure out how.
But I have a question, Angel.
Yes.
You said down in the sewage there might be like animals.
Yes.
I'm gonna use this every time.
Yep.
Would Juvia be able to like see any animals? Do we have any aminals?
There do happen to be the occasional womp rats kind of hanging around, kind of watching you guys. It's very apparent that people don't come down here very often, so they are, at the very least, curious.
Hello, new friends.
They are, in fact, new friends. With that natural 20 animal handling. They are...
Juvia's gonna like
I was gonna say,
pick
they're
one
paying
up.
attention.
She's gonna pet it. They're probably like crawling all over her, and then she's kind of like, hello, friends. How do we get to the other side? How do we get to that side?
Tell us your secrets.
While this is happening, Zeeg is going to just unclip his lightsaber from his belt. And this is the first time you all kind of notice it. His bulk just kind of makes it blend in. And unlike a lot of his stuff, which is very simple and just sort of like functional, there was clearly a lot of care put into the construction of this lightsaber. It's very ornate and has a very sort of oceanic feel to it. And he's going to flick it on, and it's just going to be this bright pink blade, and he's just going to try to stick it through the wall.
I mean, I can't stop you.
Juvia dislikes that. Your story has changed.
Juvia, as you are talking to these swamp rats who obviously are just automatically your friends, they like you already, they indicate to you, because they cannot actually speak, basic, they indicate to you that from the blank, like empty, clear space on the walkway, that there was something that was actually driving within the sewage that picked up some individuals. You get the sense from them that this long plank was there waiting for them, and once they got there, the long plank went into the floating building and went down the sewage line.
Okay, so it's a transportation system. Hey, you. Big boy, Stop doing that. Put the glow stick away. All right, gather round, my children. Let me tell you what my little friends told me.
Enoch just like crosses his arms as he leans back on one heel to watch. Just like you can't tell if he's amused or what. He's just like looking at her expectantly.
It takes him a
My
minute.
friends. So my friend said that the people we were looking for are on a floating plank. We see the empty space. I would imagine they're going to have to wait for a flying carpet to appear and transport us that away.
It kind of takes him a minute to process that you were talking to him, and Zeeg still sticks his lightsaber in the wall.
Couldn't we just walk to the direction it went?
Yeah, I suppose we could do that too.
It might be a little
And that was
faster.
what way?
Whatever, I don't care. I got new friends. We're getting soft tacos later.
As just a molten hole just kind of continues to grow around where Zeke has his lightsaber and the big ass Durasteel wall, which seems to continue to be simply wall. There does not seem to be something on the other side.
He looks kind of disappointed, but he does flick off his lightsaber and clips it back to his belt.
There's now a big ass molten hole.
It has given Enoch future ideas, though.
Oh no. That's something I'm gonna have to deal with. Great. Okay. But yes, the sewage in particular down in the little canyon that is flowing. It seems to kind of be flowing further down. Juvia, you were able to surmise basically the rats described. Yes, a transport was waiting to pick them up, and then followed the path. As well, with that natural 20, they would have been able to direct you that leads out to a long tunnel, probably to where the sewage plant itself is that processes all of this, which would be a very good and convenient route of escape.
Oh, good. All right, come on. Get in. Get in my clothes.
They nestle in.
Zeke looks really confused for a second before he realizes you weren't talking to him.
I didn't know my scare arousal worked so well.
I know, right? Didn't even have to try this time. Poor Z's
He's just trying to figure out if they would fit now.
Yep, exactly. Z's just like, how would I get in there? Oh.
No. Not cheating.
I love that.
All right. Well, if they have a transport, then they clearly went that way. Should we pursue?
Hell yeah, we do.
All right. You guys continue to make your way down through the sewage, and as you guys are navigating, you're kind of seeing that the movement of the sewage has been kind of like a trickle of a stream. Like, it hasn't seemed like it's been moving, but as you're starting to get further in, you can see the sewage is actually starting to move a little bit faster. As a river would start to move faster as it's getting closer and closer to the mouth. So too does the rancid smell continue to escalate. Except for those of you that have breathing masks, you're completely fine. Everything smells like roses. It's great. Everyone else,
Question.
not so much.
Is there like a little like ledge or something that we're walking on, or are we like in the sewage?
No, you guys are walking on like this massive concrete ledges.
Okay, excellent.
So you guys are not in the sewage. You guys are on like these paths. Like if everybody was the size of Legion or Zeeg, you would have to file one by one. Otherwise, you guys can move two by two. Just for an idea of how wide that is. But you are starting to also kind of feel temperature has kind of risen. Not that it's steadily rising, but it's just like as you're getting closer, you're starting to kind of feel like the air that's coming from much further down these tunnels is starting to get warmer. And with that warmth, it's just continuing to get more and more gross. But you do kind of eventually you turn a corner as you've watched the sewage start to get to like river quality of movement. As you turn the corner, you see a massive, like, bright gaping. Like, everything else has been dark, very dim, very wet and humid. But as you've turned around, turned a corner and see this opening where the sewage is kind of starting to pour into, it looks like this ramp. It's very bright. There's this orange glow coming from it, as well as an increase in heat. Even if you are not familiar with the lower levels of planets, you would be able to deduce that this is one of those deep machinations at the bottom that is used for processing of sewage and waste under intense heat to eventually be reused. So you are quite literally at the underbelly of Nar Shaddaa, probably the lowest any organic could go.
I've just noticed something about Zeeg's character sheet here. I have an acute sense of smell. I'm not sure what color a giant yellow nautilin turns when he's not feeling good, but Zeeg is turning whatever color that is.
I mean, normally you turn green, but so like intense yellow green, I guess.
Puce.
Puce. There it is.
We're going with it. It's puce now. He's turning a lovely shade of puce.
Proceed.
You're welcome. I know Miller's pretty well.
So, yeah, that is where you were at, but you do not see any hint of the cult just yet, but you do know that you're, based on the level of how clean the pickup point was, you should very easily be able to find the trail of them once you reach the sewage plant itself. Pardon, had another sneeze. As you exit the tunnel and you are hit with this hot, nasty smell, like the air, for those of you that are not suffering the smell, the wind itself, like the air that you feel, is hot and humid, and you just feel gross instantaneously. You haven't been in the sewage, but you feel like you've been in the sewage as soon as the scent and the heat and humidity hit you. And you continue along this walkway, which eventually does turn into kind of a ramp. and the sewage is just kind of flying past you at this point because gravity. As you guys continue further in, that humidity fades, and you're just left with like this hot, dry sensation. Like you've just been sweating, you're gross, and you just dried off, and it just kind of feels like sticky almost. But you're at least dry. And you can see just multiple factory buildings. You can see like these intense areas of probably molten lava that has been used for the melting of metal. Smokestacks kind of billowing up that will eventually just kind of meld into the Nar Shaddaa air and is normal. It's just a sprawling scape. It looks like another city under the bustling city overhead. As you guys do come out, go ahead and roll me another round of investigation checks to find where in this wonderful area the cult is.
You said investigation?
Yes.
I rolled a 19 with my -1. That's an 18.
Still pretty good.
Epsilon's so preoccupied with her climate changing suit that she don't see shit.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, all she sees is shit, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Exclusively sees shit. Yeah, unfortunately, I rolled a 3 for you. Sorry about it. You are distracted.
That's what I get for being a smartass.
It's karma.
Like I said in the last game, God may be dead, but karma is much alive.
It's a 9 for me.
Hey, it's still not a nat 1. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Way better than a nat 1. All right. So, yeah, Epsilon does not see a fucking thing. Xenno, you are still a little overwhelmed. Like your senses are a little touched by everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to hyperfixate. Enoch, Juvia, and Zeeg, apparently. You guys are able to kind of buckle down and get over that and just kind of more focus. You notice probably a good, say, 20, 30, city blocks away, amidst this factory-esque city. You see, after some bursts of steam have kind of blurred your vision, but you've focused, there seems to be a shuttle by one of these factory buildings.
Do you believe that's our target?
Zeke just points at it.
Thanks, buddy.
He's doing his best.
He's doing his best, and that's all we could ask.
Stifling a gag, and I was like, oh, over there, I see. Okay. Is this how you guys always do things? See, I would have
I don't
stayed
know.
on the streets and asked questions.
I don't know. I just
All
got
the
here.
day time.
Well, as I said, other avenues may be open now, but this is fine. Everything's fine.
Famous last words.
did Juvia see? She saw the thing 'cause she got a 22.
Yes. Sorry, I had a cough that absolutely destroyed the rest of my description. But yeah, since you rolled above a 20, you in specific, Juvia, saw that the shuttle is like it's not running, it's just sitting there on one of these like wide paths. It's not supposed to be a parking area, obviously, but it fits. So it is not running. So they're obviously not expecting to be found.
Dang. With my ass, a city their parallel parking is shit.
Not wrong.
Zeeg is just going to start walking towards the shuttle.
Okay.
Enoch will also begin making his way over, but he's gonna try to be like stealthy about it. So that's like they don't realize quite how many people are actually on their tail. That kind
Okay.
of thing.
I mean, Epsilon counts as two people with how loud she is in multiple ways, so it's fine. If you're gonna be a sneaky boy, roll me a stealth.
Juvia's also gonna be sneak, so stealth.
I would say Zeeg probably sees everyone trying to be sneaky and also tries then to be like, oh, we gotta be quiet. And he like hunches down a little bit.
Hunches down a little bit.
Just a little bit. Now he doesn't.
7'6". He can only move
How
so
little
much.
is a little bit? Like Juvia's 6'2", so like is he like
It's
rolled
Juvia's
up in a
standing
ball?
He's now as tall as Juvia was when she was standing straight up.
feet. Exactly.
Ooh, damn. That's a nat 20 on my stealth check.
Oh wow, Xenno just blink gone.
Did you want me to roll one as well?
Please.
Oh, wait. Enoch can also go invisible. I just remembered that. I was
Oh,
like, how is
so-
it that he was so stealthy before? Right.
Okay,
So he's
so
also going invisible.
so Enoch and Xenno just disappear into the non-applicable shadows, but apparently they found shadows.
It's a 9 for Zeeg.
Oh, buddy, but that fits. You're
Zeke is doing the
trying.
crunk thing.
Exactly.
God.
He's doing
yes.
the crunk thing where he's like against the wall, but he's like, nah. Like,
See, we have the two
Yep.
that are going invisible. And then we have the other two that are going to not be as stealthy as they think or not care about stealth at all. It's great. It evens out. Oh, okay. Yeah, for the most part, Juvia, you're lucky. It's pretty easy for everyone to be distracted and not see you when you're stealth. Because I should ask, but I feel like I don't need to. Is it safe to assume Epsilon is in fact not stealthing and is just walking?
Yep, right down the middle of the road.
I figured. Just no.
Juvia flips her off with all 6 of middle fingers.
Zeeg just does a little hand pat like, you're supposed to get down.
Like,
Double saber in hand. Not activated, but the hilt is in her hand.
she's ready to fuck shit up.
And the other hand is lightly sparking with force lightning.
Totally the opposite of stealth. All right, as you guys move forward and, 2 of your members are apparently fucking nope, they noped out. You cannot see them. As you guys make your way there and get closer, you do notice that the shuttle is parked by just a random factory. This factory seems to be one of the older ones and a bit more derelict because there's nothing going to be processed in it. There is no like molten lava to melt things down. It's one of the much older, but they didn't want to fix it up type of factories that is kind of spotting around with how old Nar Shaddaa is. It's not uncommon. But yeah, you guys are, well, let me rephrase. Everyone else is at least somewhat stealthy, and then there's Epsilon. So, you know, Zeeg, still somehow you are a bit more stealthed than you think because of Epsilon by proxy. So your efforts are working. Maybe not intentionally, but Epsilon's kind of bringing the Epsilon brings the attention to herself a lot. But you have made your way to the building, so now gets to be the fun part. How are you guys going to handle said building?
Do we see any obvious open doors or like any way to get in from where we're at?
There is what appears to be a door. Like everyone else would be able to fit under it. Zeeg, you definitely have to bend down because like Juvia's pushing the height. But it seems to be more of like this would be where maintenance would go in type of thing. But this seems to be literally the only door in. It is currently shut. And you do not know if it is locked. There's no windows or anything like that. But you do at least see a door.
All right, well, I'll test the door, see if it's unlocked.
You test the door and it is in fact unlocked.
He kind of opens it and just shoves it gently open and gestures for Epsilon to go ahead.
I'm gonna let the loud one go first.
If they're not hidden anyway, may as well.
Fair.
Did we see anybody out by the shuttle, or is it just the shuttle sitting next to this old building?
Just the shuttle.
Does it look like the shuttle runs? Or is it also an old derelict ship?
Nope. No, it looks like it runs. It's just off. It's just turned off.
There's our escape route.
Right. It does kind of look like some of the taxi shuttles that you've seen above in regular Nar Shaddaa traffic. So it probably was stolen. But yeah, the door is open for you to go in first, I guess, Epsilon.
She just kind of shrugs and walks in.
Okay.
He's gonna duck down and follow right behind.
Poor Zeeg. Poor Zeeg.
He's used to it.
Leaving a little bit of a gap, I'll sneak around behind them.
Okay.
Enoch will follow last because nobody can see him anyway. So.
Fair. Okay. As you guys make your way into this building, and for those of you who are doing stealth, sneaking around, the rest of you who are just walking like the bona fide badasses you are, there's nothing like immediately inside. It just seems to be kind of like a general like maintenance area. But you do see an open door further into the room that you can follow as you go deeper into this excuse me, derelict building. As you guys do, I would like a round of perception checks.
That's a 9 for Zeeg.
That is another nat 1 for Xenno.
Oh no.
No.
This is going swimmingly.
He just has really tall people in front of him.
It's just seeing Zeeg's
Yeah,
back.
I just can't see around Zeeg. He's too big.
That's fair. That's okay. Epsilon rolled a 5, so she's just following the building. She doesn't give a shit about anything around her. Yeah, sorry, Xenno. All you see is Zeeg. That's helpful, I know, but on the one hand, his robes are very nice-ish.
At least I know Zeeg's not dead yet, so we're doing well.
Zeeg is made out of Zeeg.
You have confirmed that Zeeg is in fact alive. Good job. you did your part.
Zeeg kind of turns around and gives him a thumbs up and a grin.
Stop sensing my emotions.
Can't help it. He does that. That's a trait of his head tentacles, is he's sensitive to emotion.
Oh, I love that. Meanwhile, apparently Enoch and Juvie are the only ones paying the fuck attention to anything. You guys, as you're kind of navigating, start to hear conversations. You guys are familiar with the Assassin Sister group that seems to be part of the cult. And they are the ones that happen to get away. These are familiar voices. It sounds like you guys are getting closer, and it sounds like they are bickering amongst themselves. You can't make out what they're saying just yet. But you do know that you are getting closer. Let's see. Yeah, you both rolled above a 20. So you guys would be able to tell that they also sound above. So you're eventually going to have to go up some stairs. Which
Keep going.
eventually, yes.
Yep.
Epsilon, you're kind of navigating, like waiting for these people, and you find stairs. That was your perception check. You found stairs. The stairs are made of stair. To go up to the second floor. And
Progress.
I know, right? Getting there. As you guys make it to the second flight of stairs, we will have another round of perception checks to see if you can locate where they is am.
I sure hope so. Oh, damn.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm out of perception.
It's all right.
It's a
I got a significantly better 24.
That's
It's a 12
so much
for
better.
Zeeg.
Wow, Zeeg, you can see things better than Juvia and Epsilon, but that's because you're taller than them.
I'm just looking over people's heads.
Exactly.
We let Zeke go first, and we're like, oh, this is, in hindsight, this is probably not the best idea.
Just do what I'm doing and look between his legs.
Juvia's like, I'm half his size. Like,
I need art of Xenno peeking between Zeeg's legs immediately.
I also need that. I just got this vision of this big ass nautiloid and just like different characters' heads in chibi style popping up around him, trying to look around
I
him.
love it.
Oh, I'm here for it. Fortunately, the two of you that rolled above a 20 again, because for some reason only two of you at a time can roll above a 20. You guys do actually hear that you are starting to get closer. In fact, you guys can actually kind of make out what they're saying. It's not full, complete sentences. You're kind of hearing smatterings that you have to just kind of cognizantly piece together. But it sounds like they are arguing over trying to hack the datapad and Xenno and Enoch, you guys specifically hear we're running out of chances. We only have one more try to hack this piece of shit.
Okay. I think Zeno's going to try to push to the front and just say, let me try something. Assuming nobody has any issue with it.
Oh, of course.
That's fine, but we get to kill them all.
All right. Well, Zeno's going to step out to where they are arguing, and he just kind of presents himself with open arms and says, I understand you have a datapad to hack, and I've been sent to help.
I, of course, don't have a combat map ready because that's not exactly how I expected this to go. Oopsies.
Yep.
A story of my damn life. But you see the three assassin, like stereotypical assassin dressed human women. Excuse me. They're kind of crowded around a table where a glowing datapad is. And like the second that you came around and like spoke, like at first they didn't fire mercifully, but they do have some blasters that they've like pulled out and have aimed at you.
Mm-hmm.
And they're looking at you, and then they kind of like share looks with each other because you're new. You're a new face. They haven't seen you before.
I sure am.
And one of the women in the middle goes, how'd you know we have a datapad, and how'd you find us?
Nope.
Well, simply put, we have similar goals and similar benefactors.
They kind of share a look amongst themselves. Yeah? And who's that?
Do we really want to expose things to any prying eyes, or do you want to get the datapad open?
Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check.
Sure.
Zeeg, as far as your sense of motion.
Oh, I didn't mean to actually use that. I misclicked.
I was gonna ask. I was like, did you mean to do that?
I was trying to read the ability and I clicked the wrong button.
Okay. Just wanted to double check.
20. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
24 on persuasion.
Okay. They seem convinced, especially because you do not look like the previous people they ran into, and they're still skeptical of you, but they're a little bit more lenient to at least give it a try. And they lower their blasters. They don't put them away. They lower them at the very least. And the one in the middle kind of nods and says, all right, if you think you know what you're doing. But if you fuck this up, we're killing you.
Well, I suppose that's justified. And so how far is it from where the party was hiding to where they are with the datapad?
The room that they are in, you would have to walk probably about 6 feet in to reach the desk. It's kind of a small, like, almost office-esque room, so it's not big. Or it's not huge, but it's big enough to at least have a small group in it. So you'd have to take a few steps to get into where the desk is and the datapad is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Zeno just walks over and very casually he picks up the datapad and looks at it. And as he does, he kind of says, yes, okay, I see what the problem is here, and casts darkness in the room.
Okay. That's not how I expected that to go, but all right. Okay. Remind me what that does.
So it's an enhanced darkness, 15-foot radius sphere. So basically, I'm going to position it to fill up the room everywhere, like all the way to the literal like doorway that I entered by. And as soon as it's up, Xeno is going to quickly make his way back out if possible. They can't see him in the darkness, so he'll just make his way straight out and then immediately be like, "They're coming."
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they can't see you. Like, you can hear them shouting and like cursing and like you hear a thud and and another cursing.
I actually have, sorry, but I actually have 10 feet of blind sight as well, so I can sense where they are.
Okay, your senses would have noticed when you hear a thud and then another curse, one of them ran into the desk and has stubbed their toe. Like they're freaking out because they can't see and don't know where the fuck you are.
But we have the datapad.
You do have the datapad.
Yeah, he just steps out of the darkness he created, holds up the datapad to show everyone, and says, "Well, they're coming," and kind of gets out of the way, and just pushes his way to the back of the party.
Can I see that for a second?
There might be more imminent things to deal with at the moment.
Can I see it for a second?
All right.
Poor favor.
Yeah, he'll hand it over then, if you're insistent.
All right. Juvia throws it on the ground. She ain't part of this system. She's going to use her strength.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, it absolutely shatters. I mean, you guys already have the information, so it's no big deal. You're just preventing them from getting the information. The whole purpose of it is
That's
great.
why Juvia did it. Okay, well, Godspeed to them, bitches.
As they are still like stumbling, like Xeno, you see one like trying to scurry around the desk and ends up tripping and falling over the chair and just biffs it face first onto the floor.
Oh my god, Evie's just gonna start whistling. Like just a Is anybody who's played Call of Duty Prop Hunt, the props start whistling.
Fuck, I love Prop Hunt. It's the best.
I love that. We're just trolling these poor bitches that are lost in the dark.
I have a question.
Hey.
Obviously, I can't see through this darkness because I only have regular dark vision, but I do have that acute sense of smell. Can Zeeg smell where they are in this darkness?
You are able to smell, like, they're distinctly wearing, like, leather armor for movement purposes. And you can kind of, not particularly, like, exactly where they are, just kind of their general vicinity. There's one that is biffed in, like, the middle of the room, which, Xeno, you would have known that's the one that tripped over the chair and just went face first into the concrete floor.
Right.
One is still kind of in the middle of the room at the desk, the one that stubbed their toe. The other one is still kind of in the middle. Xeno, you can see that, like, she is moving her arm around that has the blaster, and she ends up clipping the other one that hit her foot on the desk in the face, and all of you just hear cursing, and then a blaster shot, and then more cursing. It's just pure anarchy in this room.
I guess we should leave them to it.
However you want to do it, we can leave, I can take down the darkness, or we can just wait until they come into this choke point into the light and you can unleash on them. However you prefer to operate.
Keep the darkness on them.
Somebody just chuck a grenade in there.
I picture Juvia just like all her arms straight out, just charging in and just like clotheslining everybody in her way.
I mean,
She can't see, so it's like she knows better. She's like, I'm not getting blasted on accident because they can't see. And she goes, no, just let them like fumble around in the dark for a little bit. Maybe we'll get lucky and one of them will accidentally shoot the other.
meanwhile, Epsilon's like, just throw a grenade at them.
Just chuck some grenades in there.
Before the darkness went up, did we see any other ways in or out of that room, or is
Nope.
this the only door?
That is the only door. They seem
Zeeg
to.
is gonna just kind of plant himself in front of it.
Oh,
Not in the darkness, but he's just standing there, just kind of waiting till the group decides what they want to do.
he's the
Yeah.
bird dog. I love it. I mean,
Enoch.
yeah.
You got some grenades?
I have a variety of grenades and mines.
Throw a grenade in there and see what happens. For science.
Okay.
I am pretty sure we know what happens, but
Well, let's test our theory as scientists.
I was gonna read what he's got. Sorry, there's a lot of shit with regards to that.
Just X'd it out.
Everyone's gonna have to back out. So
Before you throw the grenade,
20 foot
Zeeg is
range.
gonna see you pull it out, and I'm gonna use my force barrier ability. I'll click it here so it sends for you guys. And I am going to, on Juvia, Enoch, and Epsilon.
I mean, he's invisible. I don't think you can actually see him pull
Oh.
it out. But you can hear him.
Fair.
Poor Zeke
Are
is
you
like,
able to
where
see them?
is this
It just
guy?
has 3 creatures within range. Are you within 30 feet of me?
Yeah.
Okay, doesn't say I have to see you.
It's true. You can just hear his voice. And you're
Zeke's like,
there.
what are the... Who's
Oh,
that boy?
For the next 8 hours, you 3, your hit points maximum and your current hit points increase by 5.
Handy. Okay. Well, assuming everyone does, move to applicable safety space and whatnot.
Yeah, Zeno's like at the bottom of the stairs already. He's done.
He's like, nope.
Can Zeke, like, can Juvia pick up Zeke? Just, like, picks him up and walks away with him.
I just picture her carrying him princess style.
He's like,
No, she, like, carries him over her head with her 6 arms. She just, like, picks him up and just goes, come on.
he is like almost 300 pounds.
Let's see what I got.
He's a big dude.
Yeah!
Oh, well, yeah, nat
He
20.
may be a big dude, but Juvia's got the strength. She's strong.
She really is, though. Goddamn. All right. Zeke, you're going for a ride. Whee!
Can I actually contest that? Because, well, Zeeg is not the smartest. He's also aware that things might get violent here pretty quick and doesn't feel like being carried is going to be the best way to be ready to defend his group.
You can certainly try. Swear to God, if you roll a nat 20 as well.
Am I rolling a contesting strength check then, or what am I rolling?
Yeah, it would be a strength check.
Okay. That would be a 6 total.
Nope.
Zeeg's going for a ride.
You're going for a ride. Oh,
He
can
tries to
Juvia
stop
grab
you, but his
Epsilon
hands are-
on the way too?
You can certainly try.
She just like walks up, backpack, backpack.
Juvia's just become that mom of toddlers who's just like one's over one
She's a
shoulder,
minivan.
one is on the under one arm. Like she's become that stereotypical mom of toddlers, just gathering up the
Yeah,
children.
like the 5 of her arms are like holding up Zeke, and then she just like scoops up Epsilon, and just like a Mormon torpedo van. A Mormon torpedo.
You're not wrong.
She like looks at Enoch like,
the direction of
You
his
also
voice.
want to get up and ride?
I will be good, thank you.
All right. Well, Enoch, you got some nades to throw, I guess.
Thermal detonator, go!
Jesus H. Christ. Well, they automatically fail the save because one's biffed on the floor, one's fucking knocked unconscious because of a gun, the other one is having a panic attack and can't see shit. So,
They just hear the thing hit the ground, and then it's just like explosion.
exactly.
We go from
Ooh, what was that?
from dark to light.
It's just yeah.
Oh, it's enhanced darkness. It wouldn't light it up at all.
Oh my
No,
gosh,
that's
that's
even
even better.
That's terrifying. Jesus.
Just pure concussion force.
100%. Xeno, you are observing this through the force, and like just as the one that was on the floor that tripped over the chair was getting up, this goes off. Immediately back down, and the one that was standing just drops. They are permanently indisposed.
I think you got them.
And because he cast a hostile action, the invisibility dropped, so you can just see this. Just like you can tell, he's got a manic smile underneath his mask. He's like,
Yeah, Zeno's got his arms folded across his chest, but he's just like nodding approvingly.
Juvie is just like lifting Zeeg and like up and down with her arms, like she's like doing push-ups. Yay, we did it! Shaken baby syndrome.
Zeke is so amazed that he was picked up that he's not even realized the grenade has gone off.
He's like, how did she do this? What
Just
magic?
mouth open, completely stunned.
Instead, a grenade went off in his heart.
Yep, exactly. Oh, I love that. A grenade went off in his heart.
I'm writing that down.
Please do. That was great. That was beautiful. Oh, I love that. Oh, that was great. God damn. Well, not only did you get the datapad away from them and they could not sufficiently get the information, they are all now officially wiped out. you did the thing. Maybe caused something that might have been considered a war crime, but it was effective.
It's only a
It's
war
Nar
crime if there are
Shaddaa.
witnesses.
It's run by criminals. Everything's a war crime.
Valid on both points. Very valid on both points. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, that leaves you guys able to exit the factory. With Zeke going for a ride, apparently.
We're stealing.
Yeah,
that
Juvie's just
meter.
continuously carrying.
Yeah. I was literally going to say, can somebody get that shuttle moving? Because I do not want to walk back through those sewers.
I've got it.
Zeke is just having the time of his life.
Literally the song from Dirty Dancing at the time of my life starts playing.
He's somehow rolled in her arms, so he's doing that pose.
Yes. It's everything I never knew I needed in my life. Oh.
Juvie feels like an acrobat now. She's so excited. She's like, oh my, spiders from the acrobat show that my dad took me to.
I love it. Enoch, you successfully get the shuttle to turn on, and you take it and take off and head back to the surface of Nar Shaddaa, leaving the terrible smell of the burning sewage behind you and leaving no witnesses, thus no proof of any applicable war crimes. You guys plead the fifth on that. As such, you have completed your goal on Nar Shaddaa, and thus are able to meet back up with Legion at the shuttle and head back to to the Unity station to more officially work together now that you guys are not dealing with pressing matters. As you guys, get back and arrive, Legion informs you all that he is going to kind of pass along updates of what you guys had done to the council, leave you guys to take applicable showers. I'm sure you guys would be very thankful to have.
We are
Yep.
going full decontamination here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Is there a shower on the station tall enough for Zeeg?
Custom built quarters.
The room that you designated as yours, it seems that there was a custom built shower installed. Courtesy of the council. You're welcome. You are the only one that has the massive ass fucking shower, but you've got one.
It's really just part of a car wash.
Basically. They just kind of commandeered like some of the ship washing items that they had, just like spares in the hangar area, and just kind of
So is it just like,
jury rigged it.
is it an empty room with a hose? There you go, buddy.
That's exactly what I'm picturing. Like nothing's like put together well. It's just
Just
exposed
big
piping
room.
and a faucet on the ceiling.
It's just like
One
steadily,
drain in the middle of the floor.
it's steadily
God.
dripping. There's like duct tape around it, keeping it so it looks like it's a shower.
Exactly.
Don't worry, because like the different faucets, you could just kind of like put your hands and close them for a second and be like, oh, okay, now I can like do a shower over. It's like a game.
Oh my god, no. No, because Zeke actually would do something like that.
100%.
Somehow there's like a little rubber ducky on like one of the built-in shelves. I
Oh,
use
He's
shelves
playing with it in the shower.
Yep.
That's so wholesome, though.
He used one foot to stop the drain, so it's slowly filling with water in the shower.
It's, well, more like half a foot because you're so big, but yes. And then the rubber ducky can go for a swim. Whee!
Exactly. He's like hunched over, paddling it around with his finger, making little duck noises.
Oh, I love that. After you all have your time in your personal quarters and have appropriately showered to get that sewage smell off of you, you guys are able to meet up and congregate in the general living quarters area in a much more relaxed, now refreshed meeting amongst yourselves.
Huck looks to be wearing the same outfit, but it's definitely different clothes.
Zeke has brought the rubber duck with him.
Xenno appears to be only wearing a silk robe at this point.
Yes. Beautiful.
God, what is wrong with you people? Juvia's like, she changed clothes. She got wharf rafts. Like the rats all cleaned up. They all got a bath to join the other one she has. She's got like her nice dress on. Her hair's all nice and blow dried, so it's a little fluffy. She's got like a little shake with her.
She's just refreshed and like, what the fuck you guys doing?
Yeah, like, why are you in a robe?
Zeke didn't even
Comfortable.
Zeke didn't even
clean and
fully dry
comfortable.
off. He's just leaving a puddle where he's sitting.
Oh, God. Go get a towel and dry yourself off.
He looks really
Go!
confused. The water is good for my skin.
The water's not good for the floor.
He looks down, kind of looks at the puddle for a minute, and then just sets the little rubber duck in it.
Enoch just like looks down at that for a moment, and then he's just like, okay. And then he's gonna open up a pouch that wasn't really visible because everything just kind of blends in on him, but on his pants, he's gonna open up a pouch and he's gonna pull out little devices, and then he's gonna walk around to each person there, and he's gonna be passing out these little earbud things that look kind of like this Bluetooth thing. Like, I find comms to be rather impractical and annoying when you're essentially on the speakerphone, so everybody, when you're sneaking around, can hear the person responding to you. So I had these custom made for everyone in the group. It just sits on your ear, and everything that is said to you is heard only by you and not everybody in the vicinity. And then he kind of pauses when he's in front of Zeke, and he's like, we'll have to make some adjustments for yours. Because I don't think they have ears, do they? Or like not like human-like ears.
They do not. Most of their like sensory stuff like that actually comes through their tentacles.
It's like we'll find a way to make it work for you. As he passes it to him anyway. And
He
I
just
don't
kind
know.
of holds it. It's really tiny in between two fingers.
I don't know if Juvia has ears either, does she? How does she hear?
That is a good question.
I'm just so like, shit, wait.
She got spider senses.
Well, however she hears, hers will be perfectly made for her to hear things, like to use it like they're supposed to be.
Yes, arches are sentient species in Star Wars that can hear and make clicking noises when they talk. They're humanoid spider-like creatures with 6 arms, red eyes, and gray skin covered in brown or white hair. They are native to the planet Secundus Ondo and are long-lived species. Yeah, they can hear. I don't know how they can hear. I guess with her hair.
Well, because he knows her. Hers is like made so that it works for her. He was not prepared for Zeke, so he's like, we'll figure something out for your kind. I haven't done research into that yet.
Zeke kind of fishes around in a pocket on his armor and pulls out a bit of very vibrant pink string and just starts wrapping it against one of his tentacles with the string and ties it in a little bow.
Oh my god.
That's
My
cool.
God.
That works.
That's the cutest fucking thing.
Yeah,
Juvia
except
puts hers on and she like looks at Zeke. Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me
You can
with
in
your
fact
little
hear
pink
her.
string?
You can hear her normally,
yeah.
but also like as if she's like right
Okay,
there.
go get a towel and clean up the damn mess.
He looks sad for a minute and he picks up the rubber duck and he walks out of the room. Comes back a few minutes with a towel that looks like he got it from somebody else's room because it's clearly not sized for him.
It's probably Juvia's room.
It looks like a napkin in his hand, honestly. And he just kind of drops it on the puddle and lets it start soaking up the water.
We're gonna need a bigger towel. You need to clean up the whole mess. Whole thing.
yes, so these were set to the same frequency, so you'll only ever be able to communicate with others on the network that I've set up. And you can turn it off and turn it on whenever you want, but it'll give us much more privacy when we're out on our missions and we're communicating with each other.
Well,
You could tell that
thank you,
Enoch is
Enoch.
really annoyed by the standard communicator device, which is basically just a microphone on speakerphone when people are talking through, and he's like, why? That's not good for missions of stealth.
This will definitely come in handy. Thank you for doing that. My master and I used to just communicate by emotions at a distance.
Zeeg taps the one he's tied to his tentacle and says way too loudly, "Hello? Can you hear me?"
You all just immediately hear his loud booming voice in your ears.
That's a Texas 10 size, or that's a Texas size 10-4, good buddy. But you might want to try speaking a little bit, not so loud. Use your library voice.
He looks really confused, and you're not sure for a minute if Zeeg has ever set foot in a library.
Talk like this. Talk like this.
He like hunches
Yeah.
down because for some reason he thinks he needs to be smaller to
yeah.
speak quieter. Like this.
That's better. Yeah, like that. Every time you have to talk, just hunch down and talk like this.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh god.
He just kind of nods really like enthusiastically.
I'm channeling my inner mom when I have Edmund, so I'm like, oh, this works.
It really does, though.
There's also another matter that we must attend to if you two will be joining us.
Excellent. Why don't you tell us about it?
Xenno, okay. Zeke, Xenno, if you'll follow me.
Zeeg is still hunched over. Okay.
You don't need to hunch unless
Zeno was like lounging comfortably on the couch with his legs crossed, and he's like, "Oh, we're going somewhere. Okay."
God, Julia and Enoch are like the worst trolls.
They are.
Julia's not even meaning to be a troll.
And Zeeg is none the wiser to it.
Because he listened to mom because like she picked him up. Surfboard style.
Exactly.
Enoch will lead them down through the station towards the southern hangar bay.
Halfway there, Zeeg looks like really startled. Hold on, I'll be right back. And he runs back and grabs the rubber duck he left on the floor and comes running back.
Remember, Zeke, you gotta hunch down and you gotta stop. You gotta
Oh, all right.
soft boy.
Enoch's just got one hand on his hip as the other's just kind of like rubbing the bridge of his nose.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so he'll lead once Zeke is back with the ducky. He'll lead them into the hangar, where he'll pause for a moment and once more start rubbing his eyebrows as there's this enormous fucking boulder just sitting there that's taller than even Zeke. And Enoch's just like, before just, he has to like use the force and he just lifts this rock up and moves it off to the side and puts it where you can see there's a couple, like several other rocks of varying large sizes. Fucking boulders against one wall. And he's just like, well, now that that's done, okay. And then he just turns to face, acting like nothing happened.
Just ignoring the giant ass boulder that's in the fucking hangar for some reason.
That he had to move off to the side.
What's with the rock? I have to ask.
It was a gift. But I'll explain it later. For now, so one of the important members of this team is my ship, Event Horizon. And the thing about her is that you cannot board her unless she has been introduced to you by me personally. And as such, because I do not know if either of you will ever need to be on board her for whatever reason, either it's an extraction or you're coming with me for a mission, whatever it is, I need to introduce you because you're now part of the team. So you'll follow me and stand over there side by side. And he kind of gestures to like a back wall. And meanwhile, in the hangar, you can see what looks like this giant starship that's like sleek black but also looks kind of off. Like it doesn't quite look like a proper starship.
It's ought to be good.
Yes, you've already been introduced, so you can stand wherever you want.
Zeke moves over where it's indicated, but as he's doing so, he takes two of the tentacles on his head and he kind of loops them in a circle so they sit on the very top of his head, and he puts the rubber duck in it like it's a little nest.
Oh my god, my heart.
So cute.
Xenno also complies without making a nest on his head.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Obviously, it needs to be pointed out, this party.
You know what? Fair. That's fair.
So Enoch will go and he'll stand next to them, and then he'll make like a come hither gesture. And you'll see the giant starship turn to look at them, and then it starts to move towards them and stops, like with the nose just a couple feet away from Enoch. He's like, Horizon, this is Zeke. Zeke, meet Horizon. And the big nose just kind of moves over to like be right in front of Zeke and just kind of lowers down, and you can tell that this thing that looks like a ship but is clearly not just a ship is like eyeballing him and like getting his scent and everything.
Zeke just gives a big old grin. Hi, I'm Zeke.
You just hear like whale noises, like a little warbling whale noise. Just fills the whole hangar. It's very loud.
The minute he hears anything that sounds like it's something from Underquatic, you just see his face light up. Zeke is ecstatic to meet this ship.
Horizon, this is Xenno. Xenno, meet Horizon. And she does the exact same thing to Xenno. More little whale noises and greetings.
Is there any sort of like mind behind the ship, or is it's completely technological?
Oh, she is what's the word? Basically, they built a ship inside a living creature. And this is what she looks like in the general. So there is very much a mind. But it's definitely not like a human intelligence. It's like she's smart, but also you can tell that she's like an animal kind of thing. Like it's like a raptor, like Jurassic Park raptor.
Fair enough.
Basically, Horizon is blue and Enoch is Owen. So, you know.
The mental image in my head. I love it.
You're welcome.
I think that Xenno would like kind of slowly step forward and put his hand on the nose of the ship if he could.
Yeah.
And sort of
Very large.
extend his reach with the force and just try to make sort of a emotional connection.
You'll like connect, but you'll feel that there's like it's not a full connection. You'll sense that she's already got like a solid emotional and like physical and everything kind of connection with somebody else.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like just
Kind of like a
just wants to
greeting connection.
understand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'd actually like to use my sense emotion ability if I can with Horizon and just kind of get a sense of what Horizon is feeling.
She is very cheerful. She's excited because new people.
She is very excited to have new friends. You feel like if she could wag her tail, she would.
She's making sure she makes notes exactly about those two so that she can be like, okay, these are friends because I have been introduced to them.
Zeke kind of senses that excitement and it just sort of mingles with his own because he's still like, he sees Horizon now because of the sounds it makes as a fish. So he's just like, he's basically like bouncing on the balls of his feet now. Like he's excited and doesn't know what to do with all this energy now.
Lucy, do you know what we just did?
What?
We introduced a giant ship-sized golden retriever to a 7-foot tall golden retriever.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's a thing in my universe now. All right.
She's kind of like a golden retriever Doberman cross.
You're not wrong. But either way, it's like it's that moment where like two dogs are meeting nose to nose and their tails are wagging because yay new friend. The problem is if Horizon wags her tail, there's problems in the hangar.
Nah, she's fine. Which I did forget to describe around the hangar. There's all sorts of like enrichment activities. There's like giant balls, big ropes attached to the wall. Like it's like literally enrichment activities for a pet, but on an enormous scale because she's a big ship.
It's amazing.
Which, if you go to the Horizon thread in Enoch's channel, you'll see at the very bottom a picture of how big she is.
She is big girl.
Introductions have been made. Now we will be good if ever you should need to get on board. Although, he kind of like looks at Zeke for a moment and is like, I'm not sure how well you'll be able to fit inside. It was not meant to carry a lot of individuals your size.
He just kind of shrugs with a grin. I am a lot.
Yes, that's all I needed you down here for.
Zeke takes the rubber duck off of the little tentacle nest on his head and kind of holds it out to Horizon.
Just like ever so gently, she carefully pokes it with the very tip of her enormous nose.
She boops it with her snoot.
Exactly. And then she makes kind of like a little chuffing sound and then turns and goes to admire the rock that Enoch moved to be with the other rocks.
There is kind of a little rock collection occurring.
They're all very pretty, but just fucking enormous boulders.
Yeah, pretty much.
Go.
But yeah, that's Horizon, and she's totally content doing her own thing. I will say, Zeeg and Xenno, you guys definitely can tell. Like, she is an enigma. Like, both from the Force perspective and just the sensing of like organic slash ship. It's an interesting feeling.
And it's like the really only real indicator from the outside that she's built to be like you can ride her is the cockpit viewport windows on the top of her head. Otherwise, it's like you don't know if this is what her kind are supposed to look like, looking like a ship, or if this is how she was modified. But it's very hard to tell.
Fair enough.
Not gonna lie, for a minute I was picturing when you were describing the cockpit the eyes from like Cars.
Nah, her eyes are basically multiples around underneath the cockpits. Shall we take a tour of the station?
Tour
I
might
think
be
just-
nice.
Zeke just kind of nods. He's still bouncing a little bit. Like he was just really excited and now needs to like let this energy out some way.
Oh God, he needs to have walkies.
Let's go have walkies.
He waves as they leave the room to Horizon. Bye, Horizon.
Just a low warble echoes back.
It's just the biggest grin on his face.
Oh my God.
Love that.
That's everything I hope that interaction would be. As you guys are, kind of going around the station, and Enoch is giving a grand tour.
Very to the point tour.
Well, yeah, very much. Like, very much pointing out where everything is so that you get accommodated to everything. Excuse me. You guys eventually just kind of get familiar with the various levels. The entertainment level, where you can kind of rest and recuperate from things, as well as all the other locations for like the science levels, etc. Sorry, I'm being pestered by my own miniature version of Horizon. But we will go ahead and end up calling the session here. You guys took out the enemies a little bit faster than I was anticipating. So that kind of took an hour down from what I was prepared for, but that's okay.
Sorry.
Don't be.
We'll be less efficient next time.
No, I'm okay with it. I told you guys at the start, I'm here for all of the levels of creativity. But with that, we will go ahead and end the session officially here. We will pick back up next session whenever we're able to. With you guys getting that information about what Revan's datapad had, and then making plans to go forward to find the Starforges.
To the yonder.
To the
I am
yonder,
excited.
indeed.
Yeah.